Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. Follow us.
Ordinary homes, extraordinary happenings. Living with the dead. Britain's most haunted houses go under the spotlight as our crack team of psychics go face to face with the evil that lurks within.
Leave my house!
Sensitive Johnny Fiore, exorcist Ian Lawman, and paranormal investigator Stephen Griffiths embark on their spine-chilling quest to get rid of uninvited house guests. On tonight's Celebrity Special, the team investigate the home of Emmerdale and Bad Girls actress Claire King.
A young boy had actually been hung from the rafters.
A choking sensation.
Deeply, deeply tortured.
Get him out now, please, get him out.
Nestled between the Yorkshire Dales and the Yorkshire Moors, just a few miles from Harrogate, lies the historic village of High Burstwith. For many years it's been home to actress Claire King, star of Emmerdale and Bad Girls.
I've lived in this house for 15 years now. It was converted a couple of years before I moved in. This end of the house goes back to, it's about 1620, something like that. So it's pretty old.
Since she moved to her 17th century home, Claire has been conscious of paranormal activity in various parts of the property.
I've sensed odd noises, particularly in the early hours of the morning. Creaking, the sound as though somebody's walking up step ladders, and then a feeling of somebody touching my face, or particularly cold spots. There's a few cold spots, and the main one being up in the bedroom above this room.
These unexplained events have provoked Claire to find out more about the history of her house.
I was told by one of the locals that a young boy had actually been hung from the rafters of this when it was actually a barn. So whether he'd stolen a pint of milk or a loaf of bread or something like that, I presume he was one of the farmhands that worked on the farm and got lynched by the locals for stealing something, as far as I know.
Claire believes her own bedroom is also a hive of paranormal activity.
I've woken up thinking that it's really, really cold, and I think the window's open, so I go to close the window, and it's already closed. The beam above the bed is, I believe, is that where the boy was hung from, so that's also a rather an intriguing thing to wake up to when you feel something stroking your face in the middle of the night.
Elsewhere in the house, other bizarre things have been happening.
On several occasions, I've found items, particularly car keys or certain kitchen items, have moved. We've put them down in a certain place, and then 2 days later, they reappear, but in a completely different place.
As well as things going missing, there have been some strange manifestations too.
The other odd thing I've found is like wet areas. They're not like puddles, but it's wet areas, and they're often near electric, so sometimes it actually trips the electricity off. But they're not near a plant that could have been watered, or a radiator, or an open window, or a sink, or anything like that. They're just in areas that you wouldn't find water normally. My feelings as far as whatever it is in the house, or it might be more than one for all I know, is that it's just mischievous. I don't believe they bear me any malice. I don't think they're evil. I certainly don't feel that myself.
She may appear unruffled, but Claire wants to learn more about who she's sharing her house with.
What I'm hoping for from the séance is finding out about the spirits that are surrounding the house or within the house, if any, and also their background, what happened, if we can.
Claire's curiosity has led her to call in the Living with the Dead team for help. They plan to hold an overnight vigil at Claire's house to see what activity, if any, they can discover. Claire leaves her home for the night while the team move in. First to arrive is paranormal investigator Stephen Griffiths. Stephen runs some tests around Claire's house for natural phenomena such as drafts and squeaky floorboards, so they're not mistaken later for supernatural activity.
Well, we've got some R readings near this doorway. I think there's a central heating pump just behind here, and centrally there's a central heating heater.
Once he's eliminated any natural anomalies, sensitive Johnny Fiore and exorcist Ian Lawman arrive to give their first impressions of the property. Once inside, they separate, and almost immediately they begin to sense paranormal phenomena.
Just got a real slow energy just brushed straight past my feet.
There's a couple of entities, couple of energies here that, one in particular that's not so nice.
Jonathan.
I just have this feeling that someone is watching.
A choking sensation.
Just across this beam right here, I feel a heavy presence. I just feel something very, very heavy.
A young boy had actually been hung from the rafters.
Feels very uncomfortable.
Who's coming?
I'm feeling like I can't breathe. My heart is beating fast.
I feel there's a gentleman connected with these. At the moment, I'm getting about 2, 3 little people, children. He's sat here. He's got his little legs and he's swinging his little legs like this. It's like he's been in puddles or something because his feet are wet.
Wet areas. They're not like puddles, but it's wet areas.
Whoever this man was deeply, deeply tortured.
I'm getting a lot of sadness in this house. I feel like there's 2, maybe 3 children in there who would have been drowned or drowned at some point. There's a gentleman in there, a very angry gentleman, attempted suicide, and that's a problem we're going to have here later this evening.
Coming up, the overnight vigil begins at Claire's house.
Did you hear that? What? You okay?
And the team get more than they bargained for.
Just on the EVP spike, so would you class it as a high possibility that you're picking paranormal activity?
Actress Claire King believes she's sharing her 17th century house with multiple spirits. Up until now, she feels her guests have been an interesting nuisance, but she's worried that things could take a turn for the worse. So she's called in the Living with the Dead team to investigate. They've sent Claire away for the evening so they can hold an overnight vigil at her house. First impressions for exorcist Ian Lawman and medium Johnny Fiore seem to confirm Claire's belief that there's more than one presence in her home.
At the moment, I'm getting about 2, 3 little people, children.
Whoever this man was deeply, deeply tortured.
Paranormal investigator Stephen positions a voice-activated EVP recorder and trigger objects in the spare bedroom to help try and coax the spirit children that Ian believes he's already sensed there.
Be interesting is they may move this and a chocolate coin.
A couple of hours into their vigil, they begin to hear strange noises in the hallway.
Okay, we're just going to go upstairs right now because we heard a little laughter and I've heard footsteps and we're going upstairs to investigate.
The team feel they are being drawn to the spare bedroom.
I feel as if there's a child hiding in a corner here. I feel that there's somebody that needs protection. Cramped with tears.
If there's anybody who can hear my voice, can you come closer towards this bedroom, please?
The breeze is really picking up on my feet now. It's really picking up on my feet. That other guy's coming in now.
Okay.
I don't know what to call him other than the Watcher. He watches Claire. The guardian. The little boy has just made contact with us, and what we're going to try and do now is Ian is going to try and channel him, and we're going to find out whether or not if we can help this little fella.
Believing that the Watcher and a boy are in the room, Ian tries to make contact with the child.
What is your name, sweetheart?
Daniel,
Hello, Daniel.
I'm looking for my sister.
You're looking for your sister, okay?
My sister drowned. She fell in the river,
She fell in the river.
in the ponds.
Danny, is your sister's name Mary?
That's Mummy's name.
A boy child called Daniel searching for his drowned sister. Could this have something to do with the puddles of water Claire has witnessed?
Before I came back,
Right.
I felt Rebecca or something like that was on the end of my tongue.
Okay, okay.
So I don't know whether that's his sister's name or...
Okay.
Suddenly, Stephen becomes aware of a presence.
Something cold just went brushed past me.
Could these be the spirit children Ian believes he has just made contact with?
If that was you, if you'd like to repeat yourself by tapping or making a clear sign that you are here.
Ooh,
Well done, mate. Get it to
well
tap
done.
twice.
Yeah.
I think
What?
I just caught something
Okay.
up the corridor. As there was just channeling it, like I said, I saw a white object go up the hallway and actually caught it on camera, so I'm going to have a look and analyse it and see what it actually is.
Later that night, Stephen examines the footage he captured on his night vision camera.
Where we was inside the back bedroom, and Ian Long was trying to bring a child forward, and I was standing near the doorway, filming around the room, and I heard a tapping and steps behind me, footsteps, and I swung the camera around, and I believe I caught a sort of a life force or an entity running or going up the corridor. You see, I was listening, and I turned around, I heard it, and on the floor just down there, it sweeps straight through the corridor. That's not an orb, you know, the conventional orbs, a piece of dust or pollen or water vapour. That's different, it moved different, it acted different, it sort of got out of the way. I just felt as if it just ran away from the room, which is quite impressive, that bit of footage.
The team believe they've made contact with several souls during their overnight vigil, including spirit children Daniel and Rebecca, their mother Mary, and a mysterious watcher. Could this anomaly picked up on Stephen's camera be one of them?
A life force that people talk about seems to be an energy form. It's known as a manifestation of persistent personal consciousness, would you believe? And it can take any shape, from an orb to a sort of a beam of light crossing a room. After all, there's no reason why an energy form, an aspect of the departed, shouldn't appear in any form whatsoever.
After the previous night's experiences, Johnny is eager to meet Claire for the first time.
Claire King.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Good.
I get the sense, or Ian and I, who we work in tandem, got the sense of several different spirits here. The presence of this man, I for lack of anything better, I call him the Watcher.
Right.
Who walks up and down that corridor. We got children, very strong children, and tears. How do you feel about having this in your home?
I'm completely open. I'm open to most things in life. As an actor, I think you have to be anyway, you know. And I believe if you shut things off, you're never going to expand your mind and learn.
What are your reactions to these spirit children, the Watcher, and this obvious feeling of sadness?
I think really the Watcher, I want to know more about it. I want to learn more about him, who he was, where he's come from, if we can find out at all, if he's willing to, you know, open himself.
We'll find that out in a seance.
Yeah, hopefully.
You up for that?
Hopefully. Oh, I'm so up for it.